stream every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. However, there's a bonus show coming up, and that's going to be this Friday in the afternoon. That will be December 5th at 2 p.m. Eastern. So put that on your calendars or go to the live stream page on Shop HQ's page because you can add these live streams to your calendar. Also, give me a follow, and that is the Ryan Code, the.ryan.code on Instagram, and as of right now, Invicta Ryan on Facebook. I'm still having trouble trying to get that changed over. I was working on it today. Anyhow, this is an exciting brand that we're going to be talking about tonight, and it's called RGMT. And I'll get into what that means in a little bit. And I'll tell you, I'm really, really impressed with these watches. I'm truly excited to be able to present them. I saw them before at Shop HQ, but I never got to handle them, look at them, present them. But now's my chance tonight, and I'm really, really excited for that. So let's go through a couple of the housekeeping items, just as we always do here. And so first of all, we're just going to talk about, there's a sweepstakes going on. And so it's for an RGMT sweepstakes. You get a 47 HIMARS, and we'll talk about what that is here in a little bit. We have one of those watches coming up. It's an automatic bracelet watch, and you get a $50 Shop HQ credit on top of it. And so the total prize value is going to be $279. So all you need to do is comment whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or also right here on the live stream here through Shop HQ. That gets you an entry. And you can say whatever you want. You can say, hi, Ryan. You can say, hi, Harry. He's working behind the scenes. Whatever it is, give it a thumbs up. That gets you entered to win the RGMT watch. Let's see what else. Well, there's also some other great messaging that's going along. So you want to be able to check my social media and also Shop HQ's social media every single day, because everything has started with the countdown to Christmas. The 12 days of deals starts right now. Now, even though Christmas is more than that 12 days away, we're still going with the promotion. We want you to start shopping early and really take advantage of the opportunities, the coupons, the great deals that are going on, and the products out there. So there's also a 30% off select watches. You can use the code collector30. 30% off. That's the biggest coupon yet so far. Collector30. So go ahead and use that. And I believe they are working on the watches here tonight. So go ahead and start saving. And as I mentioned before, check back every day to my social media, shophq.com or ShopHQ's social sites, being on Instagram and Facebook, because they're posting on what's coming up. And it's just not really watches. It's Waterford Crystal, it's skincare, it's bedding, and there's just so many different items out there right now. And they're building and building every single day. I actually know the buyer, and he's been working very, very hard behind the scenes to acquire new brands out there and have them become, again, part of the Shop HQ rebooted. So I think that's it for now. So let's get into the RGMT. As I mentioned before, they were part of Shop HQ before, and now they're back. And as I mentioned before, I'm very impressed with these watches. And so what you're going to get is more of that military inspired, that tactical that goes along. And the RGMT actually comes, it comes from the word regiment, which actually is a permanent unit in the Army. And so that's where you're getting some of the military base or military influence that goes along with these watches. And I'll tell you, just by handling these watches, I'm extremely impressed. You just feel the weight right away. You feel the construction. Every single watch tonight is going to have a sapphire crystal in addition. They're easy to read, which is that military inspiration that carries along. And you're just they're bold, muscular, tactical timepieces. And they're going to range from 43 millimeters up to about 47 millimeters here tonight. So, well, let's get started with the very first watch that we have. And it's going to be the RGMT. It's the men's 46 millimeter Globemaster. And it's an automatic. And it's a GMT, which I'll get into. That refers to the movement here in just a moment. And also, it's an interchangeable watch. I'll show you the first three watches tonight are actually coming packaged. It's pretty cool. And so you'll see the logo, which is actually the M in RGMT, and it's in one of those soft shell cases. So it's extremely, I mean, you can watch is going to move around on the inside. It's completely protected. And once you open it up inside, you have your pillow. There's actually going to be a 2-year warranty that goes along with these watches also. And you're getting the interchangeable strap. So you can go from the bracelet to the silicone strap. And they also include in the spring bar pin, right? Spring bar tool right here for you to be able to take that off from the back. I'll show you on the watch in just a little bit. So great packaging. I think it's very clever. It's all done in black. You have the red zipper that's a part of it with the name and also the logo on it. And just boom. It's almost like, it could be almost like water resistant too, with how the seal just goes around perfectly. Okay, enough about the packaging. Let's get to the watch. So here's the watch here right away. It's a little bit of that diver style timepiece with that rounded case design on the watch. And again, I'm working on not trying to get the reflection here for you guys, just with my monitors that I have behind. So you get to see right here, the watch. So what we're looking at is a 46 millimeter, which in my opinion is a sweet size of a timepiece. For the overall case diameter, the thickness on the watch is going to be 16 millimeters. So you have a nice thickness that's going to rise off the wrist. I want you to notice in the shot also, look at the bracelet. The bracelet is thick. Again, rugged, yet sophisticated also with a 3-link bracelet design that wraps around the wrist. And speaking of wrist sizes, we're looking at about a 9-inch wrist on the bracelet. So once you look on the inside, it's very, very easy to read. You just have the 3-hand movement, and that's from the NH34A movement that many of you are familiar with that I was just asking for years to have that GMT complication. And what the GMT complication is, right here, it's that orange hand on the inside, so that can be set to a secondary time zone. If you look at right now, it's actually pointing to 7 or the 7th hour of the day. So you can adjust that independently of the time to whatever hour out of the 24 hours here. You'll see they're all lined up, or all the way lined up here going around. And then you know what a time it is in your time zone. Like let's say, for example, 6 hours ahead over in the UK, what time it is over in London. However, with this watch and the bezel that rotates, you can get a 3rd time zone that hand will actually then be pointing to. So you have your normal time, your 2nd time right here with the outer chapter ring, and then the 3rd time zone with the bezel on the watch. Now this timepiece has that sapphire crystal. So that sapphire, and I smudged it up here. Hold on one second. If only Kendi was watching right now. She loved it when I smudged the watches. Okay, so this watch actually has a slightly domed crystal on it. It's very slight, but it gives you a little bit more of a magnification on the inside of the timepiece. And notice, where's the crown? The crown of the watch? It's right here on top. So you're getting that crown on top, so it's not going on either side, completely symmetrical in terms of the overall look of the timepiece. This watch also, 300 meters of water resistance. So it's not only dive specs, it's 100 meters above and beyond the professional dive specs. Look at this, exhibition case back, custom rotor on the back also. So 24 joules, 21,600 vibrations every single hour for this movement. There are no batteries needed. You simply wind up the watch and then you can just turn the crown, wind up the watch, and then that rotor will turn just as you are wearing it. You have about a 41-hour power reserve. So the watch will run for almost 2 days before it runs out of power. If it does, it's not a big deal. You just simply turn the crown. Some people will actually just try to wind the crown like this. You don't need to do that with this movement. You can just simply unscrew the crown to that first position and then turn the crown clockwise. That's going to start winding up the watch for you. You'll see the second hand start to move. So in order to change both the GMT hand and also the date, you just pull that crown out, that first click under, once you unscrew it, it goes to position 1, that's your winding. Then position 2 is 1 click out. That is going to adjust whether you go clockwise or counterclockwise, the GMT hand and then also the date. You pull the crown out a second notch, that's position 3, that's going to adjust the date for the timepiece. I want you to also look at the clasp on this watch. We have a flip lock safety diver's clasp right here, and then a push button scissor style deployant closure. This thing is rock solid. Look at how thick the scissor is in this watch right here. Very thick in terms of the overall thickness. Let me see. I'll just measure it. I have my calipers right here. So we're looking at, let's see, about 3 millimeters thick. And right now, if you just lock it, I mean, it's not going anywhere right here, but then the extra flip lock safety diver's clasp is just going to give you that extra assurance on the wrist. Well, guess what? I didn't talk about money at all on this. All right, let's talk about that. So the regular Shop HQ price for this watch is $420, but Shop HQ brought it down to $269. That's 36% off. Then, let's see, that brings it, yes. And then with the additional coupon, with the coupon code is the collector 30. Guess what? Goes down another $80.70. So that's going to bring it down to $188.30, which I'll tell you, if you like this style of a watch, try it out. I believe there are 30-day returns. You're not going to return it. And there are 4 different colors on Shop HQ's website for this watch. And remember, you're getting the interchangeable strap, the 2-year warranty, sapphire crystal, mechanical automatic for the movement on the inside, beautiful bracelet, very strong, very durable bracelet, the domed crystal that's a part of it, and the custom packaging along with the silicone strap and the spring bar tool for you to change out from a bracelet to a strap for this watch. I'll tell you, the color I have is actually the blue. So you can see it's a little bit blue. And you can also see just a little bit embossing, I forgot about this, on the dial here, which just represents a little bit of the geographic nature of the Earth. Anything else about this watch? Yeah, and then finally the crown, 12 o'clock position on this timepiece. You really have everything with this watch. The 2 different fits and feels and looks, and just a real rugged timepiece. Trust me on that. All right, well, we're going to move on to the next timepiece. So that first one is 46 millimeters. We're going to move on now to a 43 millimeter, which still commands a great presence on the wrist. And that's going to be the Recon Diver bracelet watch. Now, bold color that you're getting right here, that is, I believe, the orange. There are a few different color choices. Let me just double check on the website really quick. I forgot to see how many of those there are. There are 5 different color choices. I have the orange. There's a black, blue, green, red, which is super hot also. And then this bold orange is what you're going to find. So, all right, you're getting the sapphire crystal yet again for this timepiece. In addition to that, the NH35 is going to be the movement. So just almost the same exact movement that we had before. However, this movement doesn't have that GMT hand. It's mechanical automatic. The watch will wind up in either direction. See the case back here with the rotor, exhibition case back. So that rotor will turn in either direction. Same clasp, same design, same ruggedness with this timepiece as we showed with the first watch. Offset crown. Typically, the crown you'll find at the 3 o'clock position. Where it's going to be is about 8 o'clock on this watch. Completely different, which actually I really, really like. Clean dial on the inside with a little bit of a military influence, especially also with what you have for the Arabic numerals going around for to be able to tell the time. Unidirectional rotating bezel. The bandwidth is going to be about 20 millimeters, and it's not tapering at all for this timepiece. And of course, you're getting into that crystal, that sapphire crystal for the timepiece. So let's do a quick little loom here on this watch, and I'll turn off the lights in here, or I'll turn them down just so we can see. Give me 1 second. Should be able to go. Here we go. Let's see how everything lights up on this watch. It's pretty cool. I forgot to do this on the first timepiece. I'll show you. All right, here we go. Does that show? I'm kind of defeating myself here. But look at this. You're getting the blue, you're getting the orange, you're getting, the green. That's also part of it, and the blue down here. So very, very cool in terms of the luminescence on this timepiece. Let me just go back to the first watch and show you too. Just light it up. Here we go. See if this shows up at all. I have to figure out a better way to be able to do this in terms of the luminescence. All right, I'll work on that for the next live stream, which is actually going to be on Friday. Remember, Friday, 2 o'clock. Okay, let's see, anything else further about this watch? I'll just put it on my wrist so you can see what it looks like. I should probably turn my lights back on so everything's just a little bit better. Remotes for everything. Okay, here we go. 43 millimeter on almost a 7-inch wrist size. Great watch. The watch will fit up to about an 8.5-inch wrist size. This watch also is 200 meters of water resistance. So you can virtually do anything you want with this timepiece. I love that class. Universal rotating bezel, 120 clicks for you to measure elapsed time all the way up to the course of 60 minutes here for the watch. Again, can't go wrong with this class system. Absolutely love it. All right, let me just check out a couple of the comments here right now. We have Invicta Claus, that's Anthony. Thank you so much. Remember, use that coupon code COLLECTOR30 to save 30% off here on these watches. Jerry Jones is here. Hi, Jerry. Oh, Denise, out from California. My great friend Denise is here. Felix is here also. Great to see all you guys. Bob, Cohen, thank you for being here also. Let's see who else. Jeremy is here. Godfather, a lot of you guys. So thank you so much for being here tonight. All right, well, let's move on. We have 2 more watches. They're coming up. Now this one is pretty cool. I did a little bit of extra research on this timepiece. Now, I was not a member of the military. My dad was actually Marines, but I wasn't. My uncle's in the Air Force. However, you know, I'm trying to learn. I have some good friends that have actually been part of the military here really since high school. They joined in the ROTC and they made it their careers. And thank you to everybody for that. So what we're looking at here, this is called actually the HIMARS. And so what that is, it actually stands for, it's an acronym for High Mobility Artillery Rocket System. Like a mobile rocket launcher that can quickly fire long-range precision-guided missiles. And if you don't know what that is for sure, well, RGMT has actually included that on the case back of this watch. Pretty cool thing. I love that you'll be able to see that's just been engraved in on the case back of this timepiece. So now this is one of the larger watches of the live stream here tonight. We're looking at 47 millimeters, automatic movement. It's the NH35A. The sale price, or the typical price, is $360. Sale price is $229, that's 36% off. But with that coupon code COLLECTORS30, guess what? You're gonna save another 30% or about $68 and change, bringing this watch down to $160.30. Okay, that's over 45% off the regular price. It's a great deal. Now, again, sapphire crystal for this watch. So this one is actually a flat crystal. First watch actually had a little bit of a slightly domed crystal. But we're looking at that 47 millimeters. It says 13 millimeters, but I think it's actually a little bit thicker. I'm going to just double check and measure here. Yep, we're looking at just about 15 millimeters on this, 14 and a half millimeters. So didn't quite look like 13, 14 and a half. So 14 and a half millimeters. This watch actually has a little bit of a tapered bracelet, as you're going to see, as it just goes down here. So I believe it starts at about 29 and it'll go down to about that 20 millimeter right at the very end here. So over an inch, under an inch in terms of the bracelet, but all still solid stainless steel. RGMT uses solid stainless steel for the timepiece. And I mean, you can just feel it, you can see it, and just beautiful brush finish, really on all aspects of this watch. Nothing is really popping in terms of real high polish. And what makes this watch unique also is you're getting into that octagonal case design. And so that octagonal case is just something completely different from everything else. But then once you look inside the timepiece too, it's multi-layered in terms of the dial on the inside too. And you get to see a little part of that skeletonized nature for this timepiece. This watch will fit up to about that 8.25 inch wrist size on this bracelet. The weight on it, you're definitely going to feel with this timepiece when you have it on also. And as I mentioned before, it's the NH35A. You get the solid case back here for this watch. And yes, oh, what was that comment? Also, this 37 or 30% discount is an offer you cannot refuse from Jeremy. That's right. So you guys go ahead and try something out. I mean, if you guys haven't tried this brand, maybe you saw it on Shop HQ before when they were on. I was just talking to someone, a former host tonight from Shop HQ, and she actually remembered these. She's like, yeah, it's those military watches, right? Yeah, they were really, really nice. I didn't get a chance to present them at all. But I'll have to say, very, very impressed with the timepieces. And take advantage, like Jeremy said, like Harry is saying, the administrator for Shop HQ, take advantage of that 30% off code, collector30 on the select watches. Use that tonight, use that on these watches. Try something like this out. I'll tell you, you're not going to be disappointed. And I'll tell you my pick out of all these watches here right at the end. I have one more to present. All right, we're going to look then at the 46 millimeter altimeter. We did have the first watch, which actually had the silicone strap and the bracelet you could interchange out with. Now this is just simply the leather strap, only leather strap of the show. Look at this aggressive in terms of the contrast stitching that carries along here for that genuine leather. On the case, on the back of the leather, you'll see just very nicely done. And it says genuine leather also. Exhibition or semi-exhibition case back. It's ghosted in. You can actually see in through that glass back there. And what we're looking at is a little bit of that sort of that square little cushion style design, if you will, here for the watch. And you get to see the full skeletonization on the inside of the timepiece here and a little bit of that depth. And what we're looking at is 46 millimeters by about 13 millimeters on the overall profile. You have the 4 different screws that are in each side. Notice how they're just all at a 45-degree angle, perfectly done here for the watch. You have the scratch-resistant sapphire crystal. It's a part of the timepiece. You get the 100 meters of water resistance for this watch. Oh, and guess what? What you get with this timepiece is you get different packaging. The first 3 watches, love the packaging, soft case. It's great. And before I'm going to show you the packaging, regular price, $490. Shop HQ slashed that price down to a sale price of $229. That's over 53% off. But use that coupon code, collector30. You're going to save another $68 and change, bringing this watch down to $160 and change, right? It's over 67% off. It's the deepest discount of all the different watches here tonight. And you're getting the watch, as I mentioned before. Fantastic design. Love the red on the back. There are 2 things I want to talk about with this. So you get that, and then you get a custom, I'm going to get this all set up for you. Hold on. You get the custom case, which is totally different than everything else. Check this out. It's an impact case. Holds the watch on the inside. You open it up. The watch will be inside. Take off this pad. But then also, there's something else. What's this? There's something else on the inside. Take that out. So here's your case. It's great. Cool packaging. Open up. And you're getting a tactical flashlight. I charge it up already. There's a little USB-C cord. Now you're getting into the regular flashlight. Okay, you're getting into the strobe, but then this is really cool. I call it the lantern mode. Look at this. So it's like a lantern. You have a little lanyard that you can put around your wrist so it's not going to fall off. How cool is that? So that is all included in when you use that coupon code, collector30, down to $160.30 is what the watch goes down to, which is just truly, truly amazing here for this watch. Now, there's one other thing with this option. I think there's 6 different colors. And so I have, I think this option is the yellow because it has the accents of the yellow. But I'm going to show you, it's called the black option on the website, and you can go to it and check it out. But look at this. So if you look at this version right here, I'm just going to hold it up. This is the black version. And if you look at it, it says VE Day and it says 80. So what this is commemorating the 80th year. And if you look, it should say 1945, so to 2025, and then also May 8th. So this commemorates 80 years from when Germany actually had their unconditional surrender to the Allied forces. And that took effect, marking the end of World War II. And over in Europe, it became known as Victory in Europe Day, or VE. That's where you're getting the VE on this timepiece. And that one is a limited edition. I don't know what the number is, but you're getting the same exact watch as I just presented, but you're just getting it in that limited edition and to just commemorate that victory in Europe, that VE Day. It was May 8th, 1945. So definitely check that out. That's a cool option too. Now, out of everything here tonight, what my pick is, I love them all. I'd have to say, I would go with the 46 millimeter Globemaster. So if you just want to try RGMT out, I would say go for this version. I think there are 4 different colors. This watch is down with the coupon code down to 188.30. NH35A on the or NH34A, you're getting into that GMT. I haven't even presented a GMT timepiece here yet during the live streams with Shop HQ, so that's just something truly exciting also. I love the exhibition case back, sapphire crystal, a little bit domed sapphire crystal in this version. Wrist sizes all the way up to 9 inches with this bracelet variation. I'll put this watch on my wrist here too. There we go. So check that out. Just slightly less than a 7-inch wrist. Okay, let me just check out some comments here, and then we have to go. I'm only really supposed to do 15 minutes, guys, but I know you like to be a part of this and have it be a community. So I try to go just a little bit longer, so I'm already probably a little bit over my allotted time here, but let me just check. Hi, Denise. Felix, hello, how are you? Felix is great. Bob is here, as I mentioned before. Jerry Jones. Let's see. Anything else? Any watches under $100? Chris asked. Not tonight in the presentation, Chris. If you go to Shop HQ's website and you go to the watches, I believe you can click on prices. I think you can sort by that and see about that. But then especially with this coupon working on some select watches, that might bring your price down under that $100 also. So just go ahead and navigate through Shop HQ's website. It's really, really easy to do. That is what I recommend. Let me just see if anything else here. Anybody finally with some comments? Great minds think alike. Great choice. Godfather. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to head out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, the next show comes up here on Friday, this Friday, December 5th at 2 p.m. Eastern. So I don't know which watches I'll be presenting yet, so it's going to be a little bit of a surprise for me, a surprise for you. But if you happen to miss a show, you can always go to shophq.com and you can click on the live stream and check it out here. I think they stay up for a couple of weeks. So thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you in less than 48 hours, Friday, 2 o'clock Eastern. I'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy your watches that you purchased tonight. All right, take care.